We're at 2:15, so Judy, you can go ahead and get started.
Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Judy Rose, and I'm here to introduce Joseph Toe. Joseph is a Hong Kong native, graduated at the Washington State University with his master's of arts in music and Bachelor of Music with music education, vocal emphasis, at Washington State University. Joseph is the choral teacher at Tukwila School District, the most diverse school district in the United States, and the director of music ministries at Prince of Peace Lutheran Church at SeaTac. His full bio is in the conference guidebook. So without further ado, Joseph.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us amid or joining us to this intersection to learn about Chinese diction and Chinese choral music amid the craziness that we have been going through because of COVID. One of the things I want to remind you is that like there's a giant package handout in the guidebook, and I would like is for you to have like during the section and for you to have a reference later on. And we will probably like go back and forth to reference those things in the handout. So that would be handy if you have that. Before we start, I want to ask a question. A little survey for us. Have you ever sung a Chinese piece? Have you picked a Chinese piece for your choir? Sometimes we think that, oh my god, it's so hard, like singing like a total different language is so hard already. How can we even teach? Like, there's no such guideline out there, there's no like guidance, so much stuff that we have to do research. And as a choral director or choral conductor and growing up in Hong Kong, my passion is to promote Chinese choral music, and I make a guideline during my master degree in WSU, and you will see part of my research in the handout for you to reference today. And today we will only focus on Mandarin Chinese diction, and because like there's so many dialect in China, and Mandarin Chinese is the standard Chinese, but I also speak Cantonese. And later on, maybe in the future, we will discuss like how can we do like Cantonese Chinese choral music later on. So before we start, I would like to tell you that there are the three types of system to transcribe Chinese for non-native speaker. And they are the pinyin system, the Yale romanization Mandarin Chinese, and the International Phonetic Alphabet. And they are commonly used to notate the oral sound of the spoken language and the sung language in Chinese. And the pinyin system was developed and adopted in the People's Republic of China as the official phonetic transliteration system in the late 1950s. And pinyin used the Latin alphabet, not those stroke that we write in Chinese, but instead we use Latin alphabet to transcribe that. And it's the standard transcription for almost all Chinese-speaking community around the world. And pinyin is used in most Chinese language teaching materials and reference book, and in the library catalog or the roadside, etc. However, it's not easy. It's the not easiest system for non-Chinese speaker. If you don't know the rule, it's so hard and difficult to visualize the sound of a word. And we will do some experiment later. The next one is Yale romanization of Mandarin Chinese. This is a system that transcribing the sound of standard Chinese Mandarin. And this system was invented in 1943 by the Yale University sinologist George Kennedy for a course teaching Chinese to American soldiers who would deploy to China during World War II, and it popularized by continued development of the course at Yale. The system approximates the Chinese sound using English spelling conventions in order to accelerate our acquisitions of pronunciation by English speaker. So this system is created by and for English speaker. And you may ask why we didn't use this system or not familiar with this system. Because we don't really talk about it since the Pinyin become the official transcribing language. They adopted it. A lot of books adopted that. But this Yale romanization is the more accessible way for us to teach Chinese to our students. So let's do an experiment here. Is there anyone speak Mandarin here? Can you visualize the sound right now just reading the Chinese character right now? I bet it's very hard. How about now? This is the Pinyin system. Can you try to visualize the sound? Can you try to say it by reading this transcription? I give you another easier one, which is the Yale romanization of Mandarin. And how they speak it. The first one is, this is Qi. I should have, here you go. Okay. So we have Qi, CH sound with E. And then we have Zai and Xiang. So if you go back to the previous slide, you will see this. And it's for us, it's so hard to visualize as an English speaker. In English, we will probably think that is Qi or Zai or Xiang, something like that. But by using Yale romanization, there's a more easy way to visualize the sound in English speaker. Chinese language is a monosyllabic tonal language that each Chinese character consists of a combination of vowels and consonants. And when we are talking about Chinese diction, we need to understand the phonological structure of Chinese. And the phonological structure of each syllable consists of a nucleus, 字腹, which is the stage of sustaining the sound, which is the vowels, and that have vowels and preceded by an onset, a consonant onset, 字頭, which is a single consonant. It can be a single consonant or consonant and glide, and sometimes we don't have any onset. That is also possible too. And at the end, sometimes we will have 字尾, which is consonant coda. And it can often is optional sometimes. And each syllable carry a tone. And there are 4 tones in standard Chinese. I'm going to demonstrate. Ma, 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 ma. When you're speaking the language, you would have to focus on the tone, but tone usually reflected in the music that we don't need to pay as much attention to that. And you'll be able to hear or sing these 4 tones reflected in music because composer, they would compose music pay attention to how do we really speak that, what is a tone that affected the music. So they will just compose the music, and it was guided by the language itself to compose their music. So how can we really apply those nucleus or onset or the coda while we are singing? And let's look at this using this 像 as an example. So at the beginning we have this 字头, which is the consonant coda, is s with and then with a y sound, which is a gliding sound here, s, y. And then in the middle, which is the vowel's nucleus, is r, and then at the end it was closing with ng. So how we will sing it, or how we will say it, is xiang. And usually when you have the vowels, that should be the longest time for you to sustain the sound, like how we sing in other languages as well. And so now let's get down to business and try to pronounce some of the Chinese vowels and consonants. As we experienced, you probably agree that with using like Yale is easier than using Pinyin. So let's also look at look at the table 1 in your handout. I list the consonants comparison of romanization in your handout, and I have the Pinyin, Yale, and IPA there, and also like as in English how you will pronounce that. And let's try it out, all these consonants, and I'm going to demonstrate it. And you can like look at the slide while I'm trying to demonstrate it, and you can see my vowel, like my mouth shape as well, if you want to take some notes. So the first one is b, the second one is p. So they are kind of like very similar, but the P sound have more like the aspirated sound in it. B, P, M, and F. So these are the labial consonants in Chinese. And the next set of consonants is the alveolar consonants. And here from the left to right is D, T, which is the more aspirated version of this, and then L and N. So follow along if you would. And then the next set of consonants is the velar consonants. They're the G, K, and H. And the H sound is more like the hard CH that we would do in German with a very aspirated sound, and G and K. These two, basically K is more like an aspirated G version. And then the palatal consonants, and now you see some like crazy stuff going on. So the top part is the pinyin system. The bottom part is the Yale romanization system. And here, if you have z, z, s, you don't even know, like, oh my gosh, like, how can we visualize the sound? They will basically tell you this is a z, or give you like a vowels, like after the consonant, so that you know, oh, this is like a z sound. And this one q, or like chi, this is chi or chi. So I and y in Yale pronunciation, they're interchanged usually, and y usually that indicate a slide. And the last one here is C. And then the next set of consonants that you have in front of you is the dental consonants, which is Z, C, and S. They are very hard to like distinguish already. I will try one more time. Z, C, S. They are all like, you kind of like biting an apple, you know, like all the dental consonant is like right here. Z, C, si. They are all like a little bit vibrate with your teeth. And the last, the penultimate set of the consonants here is zhi, ci, shi, ri. They are more like this set of vowels. They are more using your tongue, the back of your tongue, to do that. Zhi, chi, shi, ri. So your tongue have to go a little bit instead of like the dental vowels is very forward. This one is slightly back than the dental consonants. And the last one is the semi-vowels or the glide, which is the w and y. So vowels nucleus and consonant coda are considered as a single unit in most of the Chinese diction book. As we talk about at the beginning, when we're doing the phonological structure, how we like really consider, a lot of scholars, they consider that the nucleus, the vowel nucleus and the consonant coda is the single unit. And in the 15th century, a treaty by this scholar, in his book Rule of Singing, Qu, and he categorized the vowels or the vowel combination based on the mouth shape, which we call the si, hu, the four exhalation positions, which is a wide open exhalation positions, split open, which is cai qi fu, lower lip, which is like this way, like jut hao fu, and both lips they close, which is hap hao fu. And we will like explore some of the like vowels instead of like talking all 39 vowels. And oh, hang on, sorry. One thing I forgot to mention is the open exhalation, the hoi hao fu, which is the first one here. This includes vowels a, o, and e, and vowel combination that started by a, o, and e. And it is in your handout as like is listed on your page 3. And then the second one, the split open exhalation cai qi fu, which is include vowels e and the vowel combination that started by e. And we will explore those in the coming slide. The last two, the lower lips one, jut hao fu, which include vowels yu or the vowels combination that start with by yu. And the last one, hap hao fu, the closing, the both lip closing one, is include vowels that start with u or vowel combination that started by u. So in wide open exhalation here, that is what I said, including like that include like a, o, and e, and vowel combinations that start by a, o, and e. And here is some example here. And I put IPA symbols here so that we would like have some familiarity here. And the first one is e, which is like kind of like a schwa kind of sound. It's not like it's not like very forward. And the next one is with an ng sound at the end. And the last one is which is like have a, and a lot of like Chinese vowel have a glottal sound, but here this one is which is your lips have, like your tongue have to be very relaxed, and your like a vowel's position is more like neutral. The next one is split open exhalation, which include vowels e and vowel combination that start by e. And here there's two different like there's two different version of e that you will see. The first one is e, which is the normal one, but when e is followed following by z, c, s, or z, ch, r. In pinyin, it will sound more like more like a neutral vowels, but also like more, I would say, more lazy tongue. That's how you will do it. So I will do it one more time. E or E, the last one right here, this is one of the example that I pull out from the chart that I gave you in the handout. This one, if you see this in Yale romanization, it will sound as young, young, young. So at the beginning, if I have a glide, y, and then it close to r, it's sustained at r, and then close with a young, young. Here you go. And the lower lips exhalation, which is like you will see the shape like u, which include vowels u and vowels combination that start by u. So for example here, in the Yale romanization, you will usually see yu, because that is more familiar for the English speaker. And here it will sound like u, and then this one YWAN, it will sound like yuan, and this one will sound like yong. And you can try to do that. I will try it one more time. The first one is yu with your lips, like a rounded lips. The next one is the first one is yu, the second one is yuan, and the last one is yong. So when you see y is glide, and then you will like focus on the middle syllables, middle vowels, and then close with a consonant at the end. And the last one of the table right here is the both lips one, which is 合口夫. So you will close your mouth, and which include like vowels u and vowel combination that start by u. So here, instead of using u in Yale romanization, it used like w. You use the w to indicate that. And here is wa, or y, or one. And I know they are very complicated. Like how often in English that we will see like three vowels that they come together. That is very rare. But in Chinese, there are a lot of words. It's like three vowels they come together. And I know it's hard. So I found something for us that might be more helpful. And here we go. Let me go to here. So this is I need to give credit, This is a system or a website that created by UW, University of Washington. And here, it gave you all the combination of consonants and vowels. And you can choose either pinyin or IPA. I highly recommend it that you use IPA instead of pinyin. And if you have your handout, you can go to one of the music at the end of your handout. And let's try to find one of the word. How about the first word in your music, which is like the end of your handout, which is JIA. Actually, sorry, my thought. Instead of going to the music, can we go to the what is it called? This called a guide that I created, which have all the lyrics on top, and then like the Yale romanization, and then the IPA, and then the translation. Can we go to that one? That makes more sense to us right now. So when you look at the IPA right there, there's like the first characters, the first Chinese character, T, and then C. Let's find that. T is here. This column is the vowels. T, C, which is this one, and then I, A. Here you go. And then you'll be able to hear this. Oh, hang on. Oh, I see. No drawing. Come on. Okay, here you go.
家家
So if you are not familiar with this is a good starting point to start exploring. And this website is very useful for us as choral director. And the next word, how can we find that? Is the Z, which is here with you.
如
Ru. So now you can like really hear
家如
jia, ru. And in this discussion, we are not talking about the tone itself, but in this system or this website, they probably they give you the tone right there. But this is just giving you an idea how you really like creating those sound with you can listen to those. And I would start exploring those if you have some times. And this is a very useful IPA guide right in front of you in your handout with all those lyrics and translation and stuff, so that you can start exploring a suitable repertoire to your singers. Okay, let me close this and go back to our slide. Here you go. So let's do a little bit of summary right now. So NG and N are the consonant coda, and they usually consider as part of the vowels combination. And you can see that in the handout, the beginning of the handout, when you're looking at those vowels in your handout, that I put AN as a vowel combination together. So they consider as vowels. And when you see this, no shadow vowel is needed. For example, when you're singing when we are singing English, for example, a word sing, S-I-N-G, we would put NG and then with a shadow vowel at the end or on the rest to make that sound articulated with all those consonants. But in Chinese, you don't really do that. When we are singing Chinese, we don't use shadow vowels. The next thing, the palatal, the dental, and the retroflex consonants are very difficult to distinguish, but we would love to see more choirs to sing our music and the language. And those are very difficult to distinguish, but I bet, in your classroom, you might have some Chinese student that willing to step up and teach the class, teach how to pronounce those words. Or I also know that a lot of BIPOC colleagues, music colleagues, and cultural bearers, they are more willing to visit your classroom when you're singing the music that they valued, they loved, and their heritage. And they would like to get to the classroom to work with your students to teach them authentically. The last thing I want us to do is, since I give you the package of basically outlining the songs that we're going to listen to. Hang on. Oh my gosh. Online teaching is struggle is real, everyone. In the handout, you will have the Joy of Snowflake, which is Sweet Fardic Philot that composed by Jenny Child. And in the handout, I laid out like all those things about the lyrics, about the composer, and about some program notes by the composer and some characteristic and like some technical like consideration and rehearsal guide. And right there, it will give you like a good rehearsal guide how we can really do this music. But I would let you go to the end of your handout, and we're going to listen to this music right now. And you can see in the sheet music, you will see the Chinese character, and underneath that is a Yale romanization that I transcribe. And you can see if you can try to like sing along or trying to mimic along and see if that makes sense to you using Yale romanization. And here we go. Let me share the sound as well. I don't know if I'm sharing the sound. Oh, I'm already. Okay, here you go. Oh, by the way, this performance by the Taiwan National University Choir. so you can really like listen to how beautiful the melody is, and mostly you will see a lot of homophonic structure in this music and a lot of repeat, and that's I found is more easier to teach students how to sing like Chinese, a language that they have never experienced. Repetition is key, and the other thing is it have a very nice accompaniment part, and this gives you a great way for like introducing this piece or this Chinese diction to high school choir or community choir. And I saw that. Oh, Judy, I have the let me see the chat. I have the link for this one. And I would like to see if there's any question in the house right now. Any questions in the house right now? Would like to know more, or I can also like this is just one of the songs that I compiled. I have like 5 more in my pocket, and I'm working on like for those middle school folks or for those who teach in elementary school. I'm also working on like a Chinese folk song package right now, using the same thing that you will see in this like handout, and try to compile that together. And that will be like very beneficial for those who teaching in middle school and elementary school to introduce this to the students. Is there any questions in the house, or you would like me to play another music? What is the good piece to start when you're trying to teach this language? Good questions. I always try to choose like something that a little bit easier. This is more like for high school, you know, but I will choose this one. This one have very little text. And I'm going to search right now so that you can listen to it. But this one only have like little text on it, and it have a lot of repetition. So, and here this is the one. Yes. All right. Let's do here. And this is I even have I even make the compile for this, but I can show you later. But let's listen to it for a little bit. This is a traditional folk song. And that's basically the whole poem right there. And it's slow, is not too hard, and you can even not like take this as your performance arrangement. You can just do like a folk song unison, easy to do, not a big deal to how to say it, downsize the arrangement, you know, and that's probably what we will do right now, given this distant learning environment right now. Yes, we are 4 minutes till 3. Is there any questions in the house? And if you want more this basically like this is a gift for you. You know, you have all those music and your the guideline here and all those resources that you need to teach this piece. And if you, by the way, if you really need to like want to choose this as your repertoire, make sure you buy the music here on the link. It's very important. But if you want more like Chinese music, choral music, folk song recommendation, I'm great resources, and you can send me an email. I believe my email is in one of the handout. And on top of that contact right there, the suggested resources, you see a very like the fabulous UW website, right? The website right there, the UW like pronunciation website, and it is on the second suggested resources right there, and that will be a great starting point and great help for us to teach or try to teach Chinese music, Chinese diction to our students. And if there's no questions, I really wish you all have a safe, great new semester coming up, a lot of you. And Chinese music is what I'm passionate about, and I really hope that we can see more and more choir and more educators start teaching and learning those. And I bet like our student love visitors and cultural bears and BIPOC colleagues would love to visit your classroom and meet and work with your students. Thank you very much for coming to this section, and I hope you learn a great deal of Chinese music today.
All right, everybody. Thank you, Joseph. Yes, keep on showing him some amazing musical love. So I just wanted to thank you, Joseph, and thank you, Kathy, for being the host. And just want to let everybody know that if there's a handout, of course there is. It's in the guidebook, and then I also actually put that in the chat for people to download as well. All sessions are being recorded, and they're going to be available 30 days after the conference. I think Christy said they're going to be available next week. And also use the guidebook to support our sponsors and enter the sponsored drawings. There's some really cool Padlets there, so I encourage you to do that as well. And then there are other OMEA activities and chance to win things on Saturday night at the last session. So continue enjoying your conference. Thank you again, and thank you again to Joseph.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, everybody.